Bezrat Hashem Yitbarach, in Sfirat HaOmer, we're learning some Musar, ethics. There's a very common question that people ask me regarding that. When you have a certain habit that you can't get rid of, it can be a spiritual bad habit, like a sin, an avera. Someone can't stop eating something or talking in a certain way, a certain thing that a person always falls in it. And they always we want to know, how do we get rid of it? How can we change that habit? Sometimes it's a physical habit. I don't know, smoking, drinking Coke, eating unhealthy, or eating too much, or any other habit. So we can learn how to get rid of that habit from Yetziat Mitzrayim. Yetziat Mitzrayim, when we went out of Egypt, it was a very interesting scenario when Moshe Rabbeinu comes to Pharaoh and tells Pharaoh, we want to go out, but only for 3 days. And this is funny. You want to go out only for 3 days? Why did Moshe ask for that? Say, I want to go. I want to take the nation out of Egypt. We don't want to go 3 days and come back. The real intention that Moshe had is, we're going forever. So why, when they approach Pharaoh, they tell him, oh, Pharaoh, just let us 3 days in the desert. We want to do some sacrifice. We want to do some prayers, some things, and then we will come back. Why does Moshe Rabbeinu play this game? Why he says only 3 days? So there's one interpretation that says that because Pharaoh would never accept such an offer, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't give a person a challenge that he cannot overcome. Yeah. So, because Pharaoh would never accept that offer, it's basically challenging Pharaoh more than what he can actually do. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows that Pharaoh for 3 days he can do. He can say yes. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu challenging him in this. So this is one interpretation, which is very, very, very true. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we learn from that Hashem always He's testing us only in something that we can actually can achieve, can get over. Yeah. So, but there's another interpretation that says that Moshe Rabbeinu told Paro that we want to go only for 3 days. The nation said we want to go only for 3 days because when you want to come out of Egypt, Egypt is called in Hebrew Mitzrayim, Meitzar. Meitzar can be also a habit, something that closes you. Mitzar is something that, a narrow place that closes you and you are stuck there. And you can't go out. So when you want to go out, you can't ask to go out completely. Because you don't have the powers for that. There's something called Yeush. איך אומרים ייאוש, חנן? That's your homework today.
Giving up.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something called giving up. Giving up means when you want something, but you know that it's too much. You know that it's too much. You give up. You have a yeush. I'll give you an example. Yeah, I always say this example with my kids. When I tell them to clean the room, if the room is too messy, they're not gonna clean it. Because they see it's too much, so they already lose the hope from the beginning. And we all like this. It's not just my kids, but I just see it, like, all the time with them. But when there's a little bit to clean, so you do have powers for that, right? So, same thing is when you want to come out of a certain habit that you have. You have a problem. You're doing the same scene all the time. You're doing the same thing all the time. You always fall in the same thing. If you would say, okay, that's it, from tomorrow I'm not smoking, from tomorrow I'm not eating this, from tomorrow I'm not doing this, I'm not going to get angry from tomorrow, that's it, I'm not going to be jealous from tomorrow. It's not going to work. Why? Because it's too much in you. You see that already for a long time you're trying and you can't. What you need is to say, okay, I'm just doing it for 3 days, that's it. Paro, I'm just doing it for 3 days. I'm not gonna do it forever. Just for 3 days, that's it.
But you know that ahead of time that
doesn't matter. When you start to do it for 3 days, in those 3 days you get a little bit of breath, avir, and you get power to continue after. So start a small step. Something little. Don't go for the big thing. It's called in Hebrew, Sod HaTza'adim HaKtanim. The secret of the small steps. Because when you see that there's too much, even though consciously you say, yeah, I can do it, from tomorrow I'm not going to do it anymore, your subconscious mind would not accept this. The paro in you would not accept you going away of this habit. It's not going to let you go of Egypt. You have to tell paro, listen paro, just for 3 days, I'm not going to be angry for 3 days, and then we'll talk. And then you will get more powers to continue. Then you say another 3 days. And another 3 days, and then B'ezrat Hashem you will have Yam Suf, you will have a miracle. And you will go out of this habit. So this is a small secret, I think, that we learn from Yetziat Mitzrayim, that can help us in this time right now, Sfirat HaOmer, and each one can apply it to his own things. It's either, as I said, a spiritual bad habit that you have, or a physical bad habit. That's how we gain out of those things. B'ezrat Hashem, B'atzlacha lekulam, Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen, Amen, Rabbi.